Hi, my name is Sue. People have asked about my story, so I made this video on why I came back to my roots, back to Chinese cooking. I grew up on the north coast of England where my parents had a Chinese restaurant. My mum is a traditional Chinese medicine practitioner at home in the way she grew up as a child. My dad loved seafood. He loved seafood. At least once a week, he'd be on the docks choosing the freshest catch for the family table. So many memories of delicious family meals together. We spoke Chinese at home. We cooked from scratch with fresh ingredients. China has numerous regions and dialects. I belong to the Hakka people. Hakka means guest families. Just like the Jewish history, Hakka people were ruthless and were hated everywhere we went. We had to compete against locals for food, land, work, just to survive. My family ended up in the mountains of South China near Hong Kong. Because nobody wanted the land, it was dangerous and unfarmable. It was all that was left. The Chinese Hakka are natural farmers. We managed to make the mountains arable and grow crops. So much so, we even have our own Kung Fu, Hakka Kung Fu. We had to in order to protect our farmlands and food. Nowadays, it's a beautiful landscape of parks and a nature reservation, plus a mecca of delicious food, Hakka cuisine, directly influenced by living on the land bound to nature. Food is medicine, medicine is food, and every meal is an opportunity to heal. After working in high-tech and startups for over 30 years, my online name, where you'll be able to find me on the internet, is 2tired2cook. I chose this name, or to be more precise, the name chose me because at the time I was working full-time, a mother of 3 kids, balancing multiple projects simultaneously. I was chronically busy and chronically stressed. Suddenly, out of the blue, in the middle of all this, I was diagnosed with cancer. No prior family history. My world, my family's world, collapsed overnight. I was put on the fast track to one of the strongest chemotherapy drugs known to mankind, doxorubicin, otherwise known as the Red Devil. It is equivalent to a nuclear bomb exploded inside your body. Total devastation. It kills all cells, both the cancerous cells and, unfortunately, the healthy good cells too. After chemotherapy comes radiation. For the next 10 years, I am on hormone pills that also causes a whole buffet of lovely side effects. When I was in chemo, I was unable to do much, so I read a lot. Since the kids were born, I never had time to read. Suddenly, that's all I could do, and I read. I researched everything and anything I could get my hands on, first to occupy my mind, and then I was learning to separate what people were telling me and not urban myths, and to give me hope. When you are inside chemotherapy treatment, it is a deep, dark tunnel. After chemo, I needed to rebuild from the ground zero up, both body and mind. Burying myself in research saved me, separating old wives' tales and urban myths from the actual truth. I'll never forget, when I was diagnosed, a friend's sister suffering from cancer told me not to eat tofu. I was horrified. I'm Asian. Later, after reading the proven studies, I found nothing could be further from the truth. The Shanghai study of 5,500 Asian women and the effects of consuming tofu. This documented survey contradicts the popular Western myth that soy, a plant-based estrogen, is harmful for hormone-driven breast cancer patients. In fact, the study proves the exact opposite. Animal estrogen is nothing like plant estrogen, and plant estrogen actually suppresses cancer. I learned a valuable lesson. Just do the homework. Always check, always research. One of the most ambitious and powerful dietary studies to date still is the China study conducted in 1983 with 6,000 500 participants taking part. So imagine my biggest surprise, that everything I learned about recovery brought me right back to my roots, the very philosophy and foods I grew up as a child, such as eating seasonal produce, cooking in a certain way to maximize the body's absorption of nutrients. It is literally celebrating common ingredients, their superpowers in staying healthy and disease-free. When we are informed, we make better choices, and every meal is an opportunity to heal. During my cancer rehabilitation, I gave a talk about nutrition, and I was shocked that so many had no idea how powerful and medicinal food can be, proven scientifically. When we have the information, we make better choices. When I was in high tech, I was a senior and a mentor, so naturally I wanted to share and teach my knowledge to both cancer survivors and anyone who wants to eat and live a better life. And because of my experiences, I feel a strong duty to share and teach nutritious cooking. And of course, Hakka cuisine, as Hakka unfortunately is a dying ethnic group. As much as 85% of young Hakka adults don't even speak Hakka, much less cook traditional medicinal Hakka dishes. For me, creating and sharing my family's recipes, embracing my mother's traditional Chinese medicine cooking techniques, my dad's way of choosing fresh produce and his flamboyant restaurant-style cooking is not about just recovering from disease and preventing sickness. It's become a homage to my parents. It's a living and thriving memory, showing reverence to my heritage and my roots. For more than 30 years, my home has been in the Mediterranean. I love the freshness of the Israeli and Arabic culinary culture. When I go shopping, I always head to the city's market. It's therapy for me. I can feel the force of life there. Nothing beats the bustle and its vibes. On weekends, I'm up early on the port, ready to grab the morning catch straight from the boats. Just as I did with my dad when I was small. Now I take my son. Passing down from my dad to me and now to my kids is repetition, is tradition, living memories, coming full cycle. I say to my students, follow the trail of the freshest ingredients, see what's in season, listen to your body, your moods, intuition. Your body knows what's good for it, so cook accordingly. The kitchen is my playground. It's all about making something not only delicious but nourishing, uplifting for the body, mind and spirit. I am a comfort food creator and homemaker chef, and every meal is an opportunity to heal. Thanks for listening. Subscribe, follow, like 2tired2cook. I'm on Instagram, Facebook and YouTube. Or send me an email at 2tired2cooksue@gmail.com. Happy cooking!